This is why you must join us, because I am power. Quote Magneto, X-Men, Volume 1, Issue 11, The Triumph of Magneto. Professor X calls the X-Men after his radar image beam detects the energy signature of a very powerful being. The Beast comments, if you have located a previously undiscovered mutant, Professor, that means we, the X-Men, must reach him before he can be recruited by Magneto. Professor X explains, I use this beam to detect the presence of other mutants, and I'm receiving a new image now. He then wonders aloud, who is this startling, staggering menace known as the Stranger? Before they can get a better analysis, the being suddenly disappears in a flashing explosion. Suspecting it might be a super powerful mutant, Professor X and Scott discuss the potential danger of such powerful entity. Cyclops says this means that whoever or whatever he may be, he's probably the most dangerous mutant we've ever faced. Meanwhile, Iceman and Beast don't take the discovery seriously and begin horsing around, prompting Marvel Girl to use her powers to break up their roughhousing. This leads to Professor X scolding Bobby for inciting the situation. Elsewhere in New York, the object of the X-Men's concern is a strange man in a suit that has taken up residency in a roaming house. When the landlord comes by and demands a full week's rent in cash up front, the man pulls a large wad of money out of his coat and hands it to her. Deciding to explore the city, the stranger walks through the air above New York effortlessly, bypassing traffic. The citizens are shocked to see a man walking in the sky. Not wanting to attract any more attention, the stranger leaves the scene, but soon feels compelled to enter a specific building. Passing through its wall, he finds Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants waiting inside. Magneto greets him saying, welcome, I am Magneto. My followers and I have been waiting for you. As the stranger meets the Brotherhood, the X-Men begin their search for the rumored new mutant in the city. While Angel scouts from the sky, the rest of the team searches the streets. Scott, searching on foot, draws unwanted attention from the police, who find his behavior suspicious. In a brief scuffle, Scott's ruby quartz glasses are knocked off, causing his optic beams to fire uncontrollably, damaging a fire hydrant and one officer's gun. Beast and Iceman arrive just in time to pull Scott from the tense situation and reunite him with Marvel Girl. The team decides to continue their search together. In the building where the strangers encounter the Brotherhood, Magneto offers him membership with his team of evil mutants. When the stranger questions why he should join, Magneto demonstrates their power, binding the stranger with metal while Mastermind uses his illusions. However, the stranger easily sees through the illusions and shatters Magneto's binding. To showcase his own abilities, the stranger unleashes a powerful energy bolt at Mastermind, transforming him into a solid matter. Now incredibly heavy, Mastermind crashes through the floors below, alarming a store manager who immediately calls for help. Who is the stranger? The stranger is an enigmatic cosmic being, part extraterrestrial scientist and part curious, amoral experimenter, conducting research on universal phenomenon from his private laboratory world. He often gives conflicting accounts of his origin. The stranger is Gestalt of Gigantean Eternals, a composite being known as the Gigantean Unimind. Gigantean Unimind. According to one account, the stranger embodies the combined strength and intellect of billions from Gigantus, a colossal, highly advanced and pacifist world in the Andromeda Galaxy. When an imperialistic race of internals from Eung targeted Gigantus for destruction, a fleet of Giganteans escaped and eventually retaliated, destroying Eung. The Giganteans then merged their minds into a single being to rival the Eternals' composite entity, the Overmind. This being, later known as the Stranger, turned his attention to knowledge, continuing the pursuits of his people. Though the Stranger once claimed he had accidentally killed this composite being and took on its role, later revelation suggests his Gigantean minds began to lose sync, casting doubt on this story. Ego the Living Planet. The Stranger also created Ego the Living Planet by merging Egros, a scientist, with all living things orbiting his star, using a supernova to fuel the transformation. The creation also produced ID, the Selfish Moon. Additionally, the Stranger made another living planet, alter ego, which he entrusted to the Collector, intending to one day pit the two planets against each other to see who was stronger. Mutants. The Stranger has claimed he's been manipulating mutant evolution on Earth for decades, intending to wield the powers against cosmic beings or replace them, believing they would one day become eternity, the universe's sole survivor. However, this claim is controversial as he has also stated he only recently visited Earth. Powers. The Stranger can harness ambient cosmic energy, allowing him to generate force blasts with immense concussion power, create high durable shields, manipulate the matter, and alter his size. He also possesses extraordinary psionic abilities and can teleport on a planetary scale across vast distances, even between universes and dimensions. His power enabling a range of effects far beyond the limits of Earth science. However, his abilities are diminished in parallel dimensions, especially mystical ones, where his connection to cosmic energy becomes weaker. The alarm draws the attention of the X-Men, who come to investigate and discover the Stranger alongside their mortal enemies. Angel swoops in and exclaims, "Magneto, so you're the one responsible." Magneto responds, "Angel, you dare attack us on our own grounds. This time you will surely taste defeat." He then orders Quicksilver to stop Angel, and Quicksilver uses his super speed to deliver a punch to Angel. Angel is too slow to land a hit on Quicksilver, who uses his incredible speed to keep punching Angel repeatedly. Just then, Iceman arrives and freezes Quicksilver in place. However, at that moment, Scarlet Witch steps forward with an ominous gesture declaring, "No one shall harm my brother while I still possess my hex power." She then counterattacks with her hex bolts, tripping up both Beast and Iceman. Angel tries to get close to the Stranger but is repelled by magnetic barrier set up by Magneto. Growing wary of the fight, the Stranger decides to leave, transforming into a vortex to escape. Magneto, eager to join him, is permitted to follow along with his loyal follower Toad. Together they enter the vortex and phase through the wall, evading the X-Men. Cyclops and the others rush over to help Iceman and Beast, but suddenly Cyclops notices a wall collapsing toward Beast. Scarlet Witch is using her powers to bring down the ceiling on him. Quick-thinking Beast uses his feet to spin the falling debris, while Cyclops blasts it away with his optic beams. Meanwhile, Marvel Girl uses her telekinetic powers to hurl objects at Scarlet Witch, keeping her distracted so she can't focus a hex on them. Scarlet Witch, now more focused on freeing Quicksilver from his icy bonds, takes action. Iceman had intended only to immobilize Quicksilver, not harm him, but Cyclops steps in and uses his optic blast to melt the ice. Meanwhile, Jean Grey wonders what to do with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Wanda declares, "You need do nothing with us ever again. We have served Magneto for the last time." Quicksilver adds, "Wanda's right. We owe him a debt, but it's been repaid many times over. We will serve him no longer." Cyclops, who always suspected they didn't truly belong with the evil mutants, offers them a chance to join the X-Men in their fight against Magneto. However, the mutant siblings decline, wary of the endless conflict. Scarlet Witch, feeling a glimmer of affection for Cyclops, hints at her interest, sparking a bit of jealousy in Jean. Wanda tells Cyclops, "Your words have the ring of truth." Quicksilver concludes, "We shall return to our home in Central Europe and leave behind this battle of mutant against mutant." Scarlet Witch adds, "But someday we may return. Someday the fate of mankind may depend on us entering the battle once more." The Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver had previously appeared in Strange Tales issue 128 and will later appear in X-Men First Class issue 7, where Marvel Girl realizes her jealousy was unfounded, and Avengers issue 16. Meanwhile, the Stranger transports Magneto and Toad to a secluded location, leaving Magneto in awe of his abilities. The Stranger says, "I am merely a stranger," then adds, "As for my power, it is far greater than you could have possibly imagined." As the Stranger grows larger and larger, he repeats, "I told you, I am a stranger, but I am a stranger unlike any you have ever known. Far, far different." The Stranger then adds, "I grow very wary of your words," and covers Magneto with a thin film of anti-magnetic membrane to silence him. Magneto shouts in defiance, "I'll destroy you for this. Those who do not serve me must die." Toad, immobilized, cries out, "Master, what has he done to us? I cannot move." Meanwhile, at the X Mansion, Professor X examines Mastermind's transformed body and is shocked to discover he is still alive, though his molecules have been transformed into dense matter. Realizing that the stranger possesses a far greater threat than Magneto, the professor gathers the X-Men and they are set out in their helicopter to locate the stranger before he can strike. As Professor X uses his mutant powers to track down Magneto, he suddenly calls out to the X-Men saying, "Go, my X-Men, you will find him just ahead, but remain on guard at all times." Soon after, Angel spots Magneto and Toad, both encased in strange cocoon-like wrappings. Seeing this, the Beast remarks, "Anyone strong enough to handle Magneto like this must be an incredible, powerful being." Professor X warns the X-Men sternly, "Do not touch the cocoons. If you value your lives, back away immediately." Cyclops says, "The professor was right. If I weren't for the second warning, whatever this is would have enveloped me." The stranger then appears in his true form, explaining to the X-Men that he is a visitor from beyond the stars. He tells them these cocoons will protect them for the journey they are about to take. The journey I mentioned leads to a place far beyond Earth. Did I not say I am a stranger from the stars? My people have a deep interest in mutation, and I travel from planet to planet collecting specimens of mutants to bring back to my world for study. I was uncertain whom to take from Earth until the one called Magneto insisted that I join forces with him. So I have chosen to take him and his loyal follower. They shall never return. This issue features the final appearance of the original Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. The stranger departs, leaving the X-Men behind. The title proves ironic, as Magneto's triumph is simply that he reached the stranger before the X-Men did. Professor X reflects, "He wanted to find the stranger before we did, and he succeeded. He thought he had beaten us, but it became Magneto's final triumph." Cyclops then adds, "Does this mean disbanding the X-Men, sir?" Professor X responds, "Of course not. There will be many threats to humanity for us to face." As police arrive on the scene, the X-Men, considered outlaws, make a quick escape. Later that day, Cyclops and Professor X are in the professor's study as he removes Magneto, Toad, and Mastermind from Cerebro's list of potential threatening mutants. Suddenly, the Cerebro alarm goes off, alerting them to a new and imminent danger. Cyclops exclaims, "Professor, what's happening?" Professor X replies, "Cerebro has detected a new menace. I've never seen an electronic device register such extreme panic. Every circuit is strained to the breaking point. Whatever is out there, it's the most powerful, most deadly threat we've ever faced, and it's almost upon us." Thus one strange saga ends, another even stranger begins. This tale has marked a turning point in the lives and destinies of the X-Men. Starting next issue, fate will present them with many new and unexpected challenges in X-Men Volume 1, Issue 12, The Origin of Professor X.